KDB. KDB. KDB.
Beats Planet. something, man. Let me just cut that shit back on, Will, still, because it is fine. It is fine. Let me just give us a little something to talk over, bro. Listen, Master William. Listen, bro. It ain't nothing like a cow. I need some glasses. Hold on. Let me get the rounds on. It ain't nothing like a Cowboy W. I almost called in today. I almost didn't come to work today. Boy, look, I was about to go to Bath and Body Works because they got a sale on single wick candles for $6.99. I almost ain't come in this month. Almost didn't. I almost didn't. I didn't wear the white shirt for a long time because I love the long sleeve white. I didn't wear the white shirt for a long time. I say, you know what? I'm going to break it out for a W. I say I was going to break it out for a W. And then I see Will Steele with his on. It must be meant to be. It must be meant to be. Perfect. It must be meant to be. Listen, chat. Water tastes good on its own. Water tastes good when you stranded on an island and you thirsty. You know what I mean? Water tastes good after you cut some grass. Water tastes fantastic after you've been beat up in a Muay Thai fight. But ain't nothing better than Cowboy W water, goddamn. Ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing better than coming up in here with the intentions of a celebration. And it's just a little better when Cooper Rush was at the goddamn driver's seat. You feel me? You feel me? We got a lot to talk about today. Goddamn, Micah Parsons on pace for 36 sacks. Will Steele. What's going on? What's going on? Where my Capricorns at? This is a celebration, goddammit. What you Perfect. 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 Listen, man. Let me just turn this down slowly. Let me just turn this down. Ain't nothing like a celebration, man.
Nah, not at all, man.
Get that shit back on. We ain't doing nothing else. Get that. Oh, goddammit. We ain't doing nothing else but a W up in there. On the volume. On the volume. Listen, man. We here at another episode of Voch Lombardi Live. Will Steele, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. We had so much to do today in terms of breaking down film and informing the people. We almost ain't even go live today. I started to cancel this shit.
I had to hit you up like, bro, I got to eat this food real quick. I done been up since 5:30 trying to do stuff, watching tape. This is crazy.
And you know what's funny? Because Will still hit me and say, yo, Voch, give me 5 minutes to kind of finish this food a little bit. I'm in the kitchen trying to put my smoothie together, you know what I'm saying? Because I haven't done anything for me today. You know what I mean? I haven't done a thing. I woke up immediately. I worked on a film session. That's on the way. We're getting the thumbnail worked out for that now. Later on, I plan on doing another film session on the best player in the National Football League. Let me cut this shit. I plan on doing a film session on that. When we get around to the patreon.com/Voch Lombardi, we'll be watching the offensive line. After we watch the defensive line, me and Will still are going to break down what happened yesterday. And we're going to try to be, and I'm not going to promise nothing, we're going to try to be as objective and not excited as possible. My goodness, look at this thumbnail. Will Steele, look at this thumbnail that Pat put together for us, sir. Look at this thumbnail.
See, Pat?
That Pat put together for us. Oh my goodness. Now, chat, in case, your thinking cap wasn't on, that's the film session that we have when we're done today here. Actually, Pat, you just go ahead and run that thing live when you want to, but that's the film session that we're going to have for you when we're done. Pat, look me in the face. That's how you're supposed to drive. From now on, that's how you drive. We are Voch Lombardi Live. I am your host,
What it look like for the Oski Woski?
Voch Lombardi. Y'all follow me on all my social media platforms. I'm being, come on now, and I'm being point guarded by the best of the business.
Everybody gonna die.
Come on, man. Boom.
Real quick.
Yes,
Can
sir.
we get 6 Taker Bells for the Bengals loss and their 6 sacks?
It was rough for him.
Yes.
It was rough for him. We're going to talk about it today, Will Steele. We have some good things that I want to talk about. Some bad things, of course. Crazy this week, the list of good is way longer than the list of bad. I had to get in my bag to find something bad to say. Now, there are bad things to say, but I really had to dig in my bag to get there. But we'll talk about it. Chat box, what y'all want to do first? Y'all want to talk about good things or y'all want to talk about bad things? Let me know in the chat box right now, and we will accommodate that for you. Also, if you want to call into the show, the number on the screen is 202-926-1127, access code 309-104. We would love to hear from you. Did I mention my Patreon already? Go ahead, Will Steele.
Let me tell you how in tune our fans are. I gave them 7 Taker Bells, and they're like, "Hey, Scott, that was 7, dog."
They was listening. They want their monies. Marcus Hardison dropped 5 of the PayPal. He says, my water tastes like Premier Protein Cafe Latte, a scoop of Isopure. It's a pure, I'm from Natchez, I ain't never heard of it. It's pure protein powder and 8 ounces of HEB vanilla Mutapia milk. I'm from Natchez. I don't have a Whole Foods. Mutapia milk. Water tastes like 68 grams of protein. Marcus Hardison trying to get big, ladies and gentlemen. Please. What y'all want to talk about? Good or bad? Y'all want to talk about bad first? All right, let's get the bad out the way. This ain't gonna be long. Shit, this ain't gonna be long. I actually got sound drops for good and bad things. Will Steele. The Dennis Edwards drop is going to be our bad drop. So, Will Steele, let's talk about some of the bad things that happened, bro. I only got 4 on my list. I still think we having some politics in the run game, sir. And honestly, I don't think that's something that can happen. As I pull up my stats, Cowboys versus Bengals. There we go. As I pull up my stats, Will Steele, I still think that, and look, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see this. It doesn't take, a trained football eye to see this, as I give us a little something to talk over there. When Tony Pollard get the football, it looks a little different, doesn't it, Will?
Yes.
When Tony Pollard gets the football, it looks a little different. He should be the guy. I ain't saying he should be the number 1 guy. I ain't saying he should be the lead guy. I ain't saying he should be the bell cow guy, because Zeke did great things also. Zeke had 15 carries for 53. Tony Pollard had 10 yards less than that, with 6 less carries. Okay? He was 9 for 43. So in my mind, the first thing that pops up to me is, I wonder what would happen if we gave the ball to Tony 6 more times. If Zeke and Tony would have gone 15 for 15, that's a lot of carries, by the way. That's 30. That's 13. That's 30 altogether. But if Tony would have simply gotten Zeke carries, if they went 15 for 15, who would be the better looking guy? I think you need both of them, because they both do separate things. I can even argue that Zeke's interior running kind of sets us up later for Tony's stretch running or Tony's explosive running, but they still tried to do it to us, Will Steele. This was my analogy as we were doing the watch along, right? Say this the quarterback, and my phone is the football. Say this is Tony Pollard. This is what I want them to do. In case y'all missed it, this hand is the quarterback with the football. This is Tony. That's all I want to happen. I don't need a whole bunch of this shit and then give it to him. I don't need 5 people to touch the ball first and then Tony get it. I don't need Cooper Rush lined up at receiver and then Tony get it. I don't need Zeke lined up at quarterback and then Tony get it. You may be saying, Voch, aren't you being a bit hyperbolic? No, this shit happens. I don't need that. Sure, I don't need Kevontae Turpin to touch it first. If you just simply hand Tony the football, we're fine. and Tony will bring you an explosive element that we don't have, which brings me to my second point. I still don't think Kellen Moore got this fully figured out yet, right? I do think Kellen Moore called a much better game last week than he did this week, and I think that could be attributed to maybe the Bengals just ain't got maybe they don't have the game plan this week. We'll still, the Buccaneers knew the game plan. They knew our verbiage. They knew what we was gonna do. We did the same shit we did last year. Maybe they had that one up on us, so that could be the case. But I do think Kellen Moore did a better job. But there were still some situational things, and I still think that's the big thing with Kellen Moore. We know Kellen can call plays. It's the situational shit. For example, it's 2nd and 6. We got a little time. I don't want to throw the ball with Cooper Rush right there. Everybody's saying, you know what? Tony and Zeke, they're rushing at a reasonable clip. Let's rush again to make the next play easier for us, right? Because that's another thing that I was thinking about, Will Steele. I'm not always just trying to run just to be a run-first team. I don't think we run like the Colts run with Jonathan Taylor. I don't think that's the case. I think we should at least look to run to make the pass easier. You feel me? So if we're at 2nd and 7, I'm shooting to make this next down 3rd and 3. That should be my goal. But if we throw this down, in which, yes, Cooper Rush won, and Cooper Rush is undefeated, by the way, I don't want to trust Cooper Rush leading my passing game in that way. So I at least want to continue to run the ball to get us to 3rd and 3 at least. But we pass it, and it gets us to 3rd and 7, and 3rd and 7 turns into a longer pass that Cooper Rush would have to throw, which I don't trust him in that way. What about at the end of the game, Will Steele, when, we just simply can put Zeke behind us and hand the football, but instead we pitch it to him? Zeke hasn't been the explosive guy this whole game, this whole year, these last 3 years. Zeke hasn't been that dude. Zeke is a north and south runner at this point in his career, especially when our offensive line is doing the damn thing and moving people. Shouts out to Farniak. We'll talk about it. We're doing the damn thing and moving people. So I would love for Ezekiel Elliott to get north and south. Kellen say he want to do this. He want to pitch it and shit. He want to take risks. He want to do shit like this. And that can be bad for you. I want to pull guys to let guys run free in the backfield and hit Zeke knowing Zeke can't get away from him. Shit like that, Will Steele. I think it's weird. Does Kellen have to work on these things? Sure. How long can we just continue to give Kellen the leash to just say he's working on it? That's where I'm different now. Year 1, year 2, Kellen, that was my excuse. I do make excuses for Kellen. I've made excuses for Kellen. I was like, Kellen, hey man, he's calling good plays. He's a young guy. Just give him time to work on it. Well, this is 3rd year, 4th year, something like that. 5th year, 4th year going on 5. Can't have that no more, brother. Can't have that no more. But I digress. And 2 more things, or just one more thing that I felt like was a bad thing, was these game changers, right? These game changing situations. We often talk about drive killers. Dalton Schultz had a fumble. Couldn't have had that right there. We won the game, but we almost didn't because of that Dalton Schultz fumble. And that fumble came by way of trying to do too much. Will, let me ask you a question. Do you think the presence of Dalton Schultz without Dak Prescott is exposing him as a talent or exposing his, I would say, natural talents? Would you say that?
Say the presence of Dalton Schultz, what now?
Let me say this. When Dak Prescott is playing, Dalton Schultz tend to look a little better. Do you think at some point, if we just continue to watch these games, I think Schultz is going to be out for a little bit, but do you think that playing without Dak will expose Dalton Schultz for the lack of his own talents?
Well, if he doesn't play,
let me say this.
Y'all know how I feel about Dalton Schultz. I don't think he's a special talent.
I agree. Because look, George Kittle is George Kittle, whether Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo is throwing him the football. Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce, whether it's Pat Mahomes or Matt Flynn throwing him the football. Right? Got you. I just tend to wonder if we're gonna look at this situation and say, you know what? Dalton Schultz is not Dalton Schultz when Dak Prescott is not throwing him the football. And what I want that to turn into, or not even want that, because I don't wish to turn into it, whatever they end up doing is what they do. But I wonder if this ends up being the Jake Ferguson show by way of, hey, if we're just going to turn into a team that rotates tight ends in this way, Hell no, we're not going to pay Dalton Schultz. I know that we franchise tag Dalton Schultz because, Dak Prescott vouched for him. But if Dalton Schultz isn't going to be a guy that's going to elevate himself by way of, hey, we need you we need you to be elevated because Cooper Rush is throwing the football now, then I don't think Dalton Schultz gets a contract next year if he can't elevate himself in that way. I can even make the argument that going into this game or just any game in particular with Cooper Rush, we would imagine that, okay, well, if CeeDee Lamb is going to be wide receiver 2, if he's going to be wide receiver 1, then our wide receiver 2 needs to get busy. We thought that Dalton Schultz was going to be wide receiver 2 and that he was going to be the one that's getting busy, but turns out Noah Brown was the one that's wide receiver 2, and he was the one that ended up getting busy. So I wonder, is the organization going to use that against Dalton Schultz to try to offer him $38 a year? I think that's interesting. But we'll cross that road whenever we get there. We're going to get a lot more of Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot. And I'm not sure if Sean McEwen is off of the practice squad or whatever, or if he's off the injured practice squad list type of thing. But if Dalton Schultz is not going to be playing, then those dudes are going to be they're going to be back pretty soon. Will Steele, did you have any thoughts on that before I move on to the good things?
No, I'll end it on that one. You can end it on that one.
Boy, you can't stand Dalton Schultz. You are done with Dalton Schultz, boy.
I was going to get X's and O with it. I think the reason why Dalton Schultz didn't get targeted as much is because they came out and played a lot of man on Dallas at the beginning of the game, and once they did that, your matchups is to your wide receivers. That's where the strength lies. Their cornerbacks aren't some amazing cornerbacks. You got a guy like Eli Apple who's not that good, and Cheeto was fine, but there's some things later in the game where things were open, and then once they switched up, because the Bucs did switch it up, Cooper Rush just wasn't seeing things the same as they were. So, but again, Schultz is not that guy to me, but he is a solid tight end. But that's about as far as I'll go.
I kind of wish that we would have tried those guys a little bit more going deep, because there was a play, I think it was CD running past Cheeto, where CD beat him, but Cooper just couldn't get the ball there. And I kind of wanted us to try that a little bit more. I don't know. Me and Will still are going to continue to watch the film, and we're going to continue to break that down today via videos. We're going to talk about it on our live streams tomorrow, just to continue to bring that information to y'all. Let's get into the good talk. Oh, baby. All right. So, man, we just got so much on this list. Let me see. What we got on this list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 7 things on this list, Will, still. Micah Parsons is on pace for 34 sacks, dog. Micah Parsons on pace for 34 sacks. Listen, Will, Micah Parsons doesn't only sack people. He sacks people easily, right? Not only does he sack people easily, he makes people fear him. Not only does he make people fear him, he makes people make mistakes. That motherfucker ran free a couple times. I don't know whose job that was. Another thing that Micah Parsons does is he's going to get hits and he's going to get pressures. So even if Micah Parsons ain't even sacking people, your quarterback's going to get hit a bunch. And you could go, but Voch, the Bengals offensive line is just bad. I don't think there's an offensive line in this league that's 5 for 5 across the board. Maybe Cleveland. Cleveland might be the only offensive line that ain't really got a true weakness. Maybe. But besides that, there's a weak link somewhere. If your right tackle is good, I'm going to attack your left tackle. If your left and your right tackle is good, I'm going to beat up on his guard. We're going to play a game of find the scrub. And this is where I give Dan Quinn credit. Dan Quinn finds the scrub, Will Steele. He finds you. He finds you and he exposes you. La'el Collins ain't got no hips. And I was thinking about this yesterday as I was watching the game, Will Steele. I was like, it makes sense that that's the matchup. Because La'el Collins may still be strong. And I think La'el Collins' strength will help him versus power rushers, right? Because I was like, oh, cool. We can just put D-Law over there, right? Well, D-Law is still a power rusher, technically. Dorrance Armstrong is still a power rusher, technically. La'el Collins is still strong, but his hips are bad. I made the analogy we was in the round table group chat, Will Steele. La'el Collins' hips being bad as a tackle, it makes him not be able to bend to get low, and it makes him not be able to open up his hips so he can travel, sideways or whatnot, right? So the analogy I made was, it's like you're in a little bitty car with big rims. You can't turn. And if you can't turn, you put the specimen on him. La'el Collins can't mess with the specimen, Will Steele, and it was looking bad. Micah Parsons ran around La'el Collins. He ran through La'el Collins. He spun back to the inside on La'el Collins. And then he went over to Jonah Williams' side. Jonah Williams didn't even touch him. Jonah Williams was like, he couldn't even do nothing with our beloved Micah Parsons, sir. I know it sounds funny when I say Micah is on pace for 34 sacks this year. What if that motherfucker get 34 sacks this year, Will Steele? What if he do it?
I think he can shatter the record, man. If he wants to.
Shattered. That's a great word for it. Because look, you said this yesterday too on the post-game show that y'all should have been watching. This ain't like Michael Strahan is on his last sack and Brett Favre just kind of fall down in week 17 or whatever, and he just get the sack and they go, all right, Micah Strahan got the sack record. You're saying that Micah Parsons can get the sack record in week 13, 14, 15 is what you're saying.
Whenever he decides to actually want to try for the sack record, and whenever he does break it, it's not going to be no 23 and a half sacks. It's not going to be like, oh, he just got it by half a sack. Brett Favre laid down.
Yeah. Brett Favre asked, oh, no, and just got the sack. No, I think Micah Parsons, listen, Tampa Bay Buccaneers got two good tackles, Donovan, whatever his name is, and Tristan Wirfs. All right, cool. You got La'el Collins, bad hip La'el or whatever. All right, cool. Jonah Williams, first round pick, but whatever. Your upcoming opponents, Will Steele, is you got the Giants. I think the Giants are probably going to make things weird for you because they want to run the football. But if you can score on them and make them throw, I think that's where you'll get them at. The Washington Football Wizards, first round pick, second overall pick from the Lions, Aiden Hutchinson, got 3 sacks on the Washington Football Wizards Sunday, Will Steele. I look at the Rams, and I keep thinking about what Von Miller did to Joe Noteboom in the opening week, Bills versus Rams. We got the Eagles coming up. Jalen Hurts loved to hold on to the football and run around because he can run around and, miss reads. We got the Lions coming up. The Bears coming up. Justin Fields is a guy that'll run into you. It'll probably get weird with Green Bay, but I think you can get them. Vikings, Giants, Colts, Texans, Jags, Eagles, Titans, and the Commanders again. I implore the chat box, I implore the critics and detractors to find me the game where Micah Parsons can't get 2 sacks. I implore y'all, find me the offensive line that's gonna keep him from doing it. Find them. And I'm just gonna look at you crazy, bro. Micah Parsons is doing something I haven't seen yet. I've never seen this. I know Cowboy fans, like the older gentlemen, they love the champion Charles Haley a little bit. I feel you. Charles Haley beat people just a little different than that. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of grew up in the DeMarcus Ware era. DeMarcus Ware is a certified Hall of Famer as well. He beat people, you know what I'm saying, kind of, but in a little different way than that. You know what I'm saying? I think Micah Parsons, and boy, the Lawrence Taylor fans didn't like this when I said this a couple months ago, Will Steele. I think Micah Parsons has the raw, natural ability to be better than all those dudes and to outstat all those dudes. And he's not even in his final form yet, Will Steele. He's not even in his final form. He's only played 18 games, Will Steele. He has 17 sacks in 18 games. Are you shitting me? I just want to know what the rest of this season is going to look like, man, because if you're going to win a game, that's how you win games, by putting pressure on dudes. But Cowboy Nation, don't you sleep. I don't want y'all to get carried away. I don't want you to let my optimism lead you astray. There's an example that I always bring up here when I talk about Super Bowl teams and Super Bowl defenses. I bring up the Giants and their Super Bowl run. They didn't win because Eli Manning was amazing. They won because they played opportunistic defense and they had waves of pass rushers. It wasn't just Michael Strahan by himself. You'll hear about some dude named Matthias Kiwanuka just coming off the field, just getting sacks on people. You go, damn. They got like 4 guys that can get pressure. I look at my beloved Cowboys yesterday, Will Steele. Dorrance Armstrong is your 3rd guy. I need to Don DeMarco already. Dorrance Armstrong is your 3rd guy, and he got 2. I kept watching the game. Dante Fowler, who's your 4th guy? Sack, tackles for loss, and a very clutch, pivotal bat down at the line of scrimmage. From B-Gap. From fucking B-Gap. We got so many people, we don't know where to put them. Billy D. Sam Williams. Tackle for loss, looking explosive. They tried to read him and get away from him, but he was too fast. He didn't take the bait. He made the play. I was talking to Pat Walker this morning. Pat Walker said, hey, man, did you know that DeMarcus Lawrence was leading the league in tackle for loss on run plays? I was like, hell no, I ain't know, but shit. I know now. I be damn. And then you got your beloved Micah Parsons. John Ridgeway was cut because shit, we just needed him to, and we was hoping that he would make it all the way to the Monday round through waivers so we can get him back on the practice squad. But you know why we couldn't? Because we just kind of deep in the D tackle department in our D line room. I think if we was a little less deep, then Ridgeway would have made it. But when you got guys like Osa who played well, Neville like who played well, Quinn Bohanna who's starting, and playing well, and Chauncey Golston. Look, I understand you could be upset that we missed out on John Ridgeway, but we got some fucking dudes, Will Steele. And I don't think it's a coincidence, Master William, that as our defensive line plays so well, won't you look at fucking Leighton Vander Esch? Won't you look at him? I was like, oh shit, Vander Esch. God, he did the woo, did the shit. And he got a sack, Will Steele. We sacked Joe Burrow 6 times yesterday. Was it 6 or 7, Will?
6.
6 times. Sacked that motherfucker 6 times yesterday. The AFC champion, Will Steele. I don't want to lose that here. Because our critics and detractors want us to lose that. That's a good team, Will Steele. That's the defending AFC champions, Will Steele, runner-up in the Super Bowl. And look what we did without 4. I will not entertain the nonsense that I've been seeing about the 4 and Cooper Rush relationship. That's the last I'm going to say about it. But look what we did to them dudes. Without 4, without 13, without whatever fucking number James Washington's going to wear. What number Jason Peters is, like 71 or something?
Yeah, J-Ron. Yeah.
Without 71, without
27.
27, without 77. Look at what we've done here. It's not about how good you are. It's when you get hot. It's when you get hot, chat. I don't know what the next 6 or 7 weeks are going to look like. I still think we should be on the game plan. I am not of the mindset, no matter what the talent of these next few teams are, I'm not of the mindset that we're just going to go undefeated because Cooper Rush at goddamn quarterback. I still think we got games to lose here. That's fine. That's the way things go. But mid-season form is a real thing, Will Steele. And I think our defense is our defense is a lot closer to it than our offense is, which is scary that our defense isn't even in their final form and they got some more room to grow. Then the offense got some more room to grow. I think this team, by December, let's just hope that no other team figure out our fucking playbook like the goddamn Buccaneers did, right? Let's just hope no other team figured it out like them. If this is how we going to be playing defense, you said this, Will Steele. I forgot where you said it, but I'm such a fan of yours. I just listen to you so much. I don't even know where the hell you said it. But you was like, man, I'm not, look, bro, I ain't scared of no offense. versus these guys. I don't know what it was, Will Steele, but somebody was like, yo, if we play against a certain offense, we look, and you was like, I don't give a fuck what offense it is. I feel good about this defense versus any of them.
As long as 11 and Dan Quinn is at the helm, I'm good. They're gonna give you a fighting shot.
If that's gonna be the vibes, Will Steele, we just need to figure out offense a little bit. We just not need to be trash, and we'll be fine.
I mean, listen, bro. They rolled into Kansas City, 19 points. Joe Burrow and those boys, 17 points. Tampa Bay in week 1 this year, what, 19 points? I mean, and this is without getting a bunch of turnovers. You know, last year, and I said they were going to have a regression to the mean from a turnover standpoint, but they're doing a lot of other things at a high level too, hence getting after the passer. I mean, if you can't get the ball out your hand in 2.1 seconds, you're in trouble.
Jamar Chase had 2 catches for goddamn 15 yards, Will Steele. That is ridiculous. I love the shit on PFF. I love to see it. I actually pulled the film. Okay. I took a look at it. Every play that Trevor Diggs was lined up against Jamar Chase. Jamar's 2 catches, it was 3 targets, but his 2 catches, one was by a pick play. They tried to give a little rub to get Jamar free, and it worked, whatever. Somebody else tackled him that we're going to talk about later. And then the other play was the slant at the very end of the game. A very close slant that Diggs,
that ball should have got blocked.
Right. Very close slant. But those were Jamar Chase's 2 catches for 15 yards. And PFF still gave Trey Diggs a coverage grade of like 63.5, some shit like that.
I don't care for PFF grades. They have good stats though.
They got great stats. The film that we're going to put out is going to be the Jamar Chase versus Trey Diggs film session. And I'm putting that film out for a reason. It's going to be different than the normal film sessions. Normally, I'll take the film and I'll talk about whatever it is that I want to talk about. This time, there were 16 plays. 16 plays in which Jamar Chase was lined up versus Trevon Diggs. And I'm just going to let y'all look at it because before PFF or any of these entities try to pull some shenanigans, I want y'all to see where all these things are coming from. So if they come out and say, oh, well, Trey Diggs had a 65.3 cover rating. Okay, cool. Here are the plays. Here are the plays. Oh, Trey Diggs gave up 1,000 yards. Here are the plays. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold these narratives accountable with film.
Jamar Chase, Mike Evans off the bat. Mike Evans gets he had a nice little catch, but other than that, he wasn't doing nothing. And then Jamar Chase, 2 receptions, 15 yards, 14 yards, whatever the hell it was. So far, I mean, but if you go look at last year, when he played these top dudes, they weren't going off. A lot of those big plays were against random-ass dudes from the Saints and the Patriots. But I digress. And Washington, too, by the way.
Before the game, September 14th, that was like last Wednesday, Thursday or something, Jamar Chase had this to say. Will Steele, tell me if my sound is good.
Have you played against Diggs?
Yeah, I have in college.
What I'm sorry if I was late.
He's an athlete. No, he's an athlete. Great ball. He got great ball skills in the air. He's super fast. He's not too much on technique sound though. You know what I'm saying? He's a little hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? Like he's either all the way on, he's not on at all. So,
he was on your ass.
He's definitely a great athlete.
It's one of those weeks where explosive plays and explosive play might happen.
Was on your ass.
We're hoping for that every week. That's not just this week. Every week we're trying to make a play happen.
Damn shame what they did to that dog.
On off, huh? Hit or miss, huh? All right. And look, this is not an indictment against Jamar Chase, man. I ain't saying Jamar Chase trash or something. We ain't saying that.
No.
We just saying that we want our respect for Diggs. That's all. And you mentioned, hey, as long as we got Micah, as long as we got Dan Quinn, hey, put 7 on that list. Put 7 on that list, man. Put 7 on that goddamn list too. This is Micah after the game. He was talking to, I don't know, whoever the fuck was reporting, I guess Susie Colbert for NBC or whatever. Whoever the fuck it was. This is Micah talking to Susie Colbert or Pam Oliver or something. Jane Slater.
Michael, what a game. First off, I'm sure you're exhausted after that one and that long drive from Cincinnati there. But what can you say about your defense? Let's start there. 2 sacks by you, shredding the double teams, 7 sacks total. What was the key to getting it done against?
It was 7, Will Steele, my bad.
We had to be relentless today. I mean, knowing Dak's down, all the injuries, we really had to step as a defense. We're owning in on this year defense mentality. We got to be relentless, hard work, and a bunch of bad you know what I'm saying? So that's been the mentality.
Glad you caught yourself there. No Dak, you mentioned it. What about the job that Cooper Rush was able to do coming in here? Say hello, you're good.
Oh, man, Cooper Rush did a great job. I believe in Coop. Like I said last year, he stepped in big for us last year against Minnesota, and he did it again. It just goes to his preparation, next man mentality, and everything that he stands for, man. I'm super happy for him.
What do you say to Cowboy Nation, who after starting 0-1, losing Dak, was like, I don't know what's going to happen with the Cowboys? What do you have to say to them?
I said, if you don't believe in us, we're going to fight. That's all I believe in. We're going to fight back against the wall. Nobody believes in us, but we're going to believe in each other in this locker room. Don't give up on us yet. We got the rest of the season, baby.
Great job today. Thanks.
Thank you.
What a guy. What a guy, Will Steele. What a guy. That motherfucker made me feel comfortable about this offense, dog. Somehow. We got a goddamn kicker, Will Steele.
I'd love to see it.
Hey, man, listen, dog. I know I was calling for Kai Forbath and all that. I know we was excited about Garrett Bay. We was gonna get some good memes out of Hallelujah. It is what it is, but there's no better meme than the Maha after a kick. You know what I mean? With the walk away. I was doing the live joint yesterday, and mind you, I was nervous, Will Steele. But I looked on the TV screen and said, all right, Maher kicking it. It was a 52-yard. I said, oh, that's money right there. Maher kicking 52. Oh, that's money right there. Look, if it's Brad Maher kicking like a 20-yard field goal, you might have seen me sweat a little bit. If it was a PAT or something like that, you might have seen me sweat a little bit. Brett kicking a 52-yarder, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and we need that. We need that, especially now because this offense is not going to be as potent as it once was. So we need to be able to get points wherever we can get it. Will Steele, you ready to apologize to Noah Brown?
Sure.
Hold on, let me go ahead and put yourself on the screen, Will Steele. Go ahead, apologize to Noah Brown. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not doing nothing crazy like that. Brown, good game, man. 5 receptions, 91 yards on the tutty. It's a good game.
Will Steele said, no, we not doing all that.
No, not doing all that. Not for Noah Brown.
I mean, good shit or whatever. Because look, Will Steele, I was about to hit him with a
Basically, fuck him.
You know, I was about to hit him with it. You know what I mean? But we
No. You ain't got to do all that. No. What my man say?
What'd he say?
Let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say
You're not wrong.
Noah Brown stepped up when we needed him, Will Steele. I do think that is big time. He stepped up when we needed him the most, and hey, he got it done. He was a wide receiver 1 yesterday, 95 yards, a total of 95 yards. So, listen, I don't anticipate Noah Brown to keep doing this or nothing like that. For him to have 95 and for CeeDee Lamb to have 88, but 80 something yards, like 87 yards, something like that. But hey, it was good to have him. It was good to have him. Now, do I think? And I would love to hear this from you, Will Steele. Do you think Noah Brown had a successful day because of the volume in which we just went to him? The fact that Cooper Rush just, happened to trust him? Or was Noah Brown just in Super Saiyan that day and he stepped up and he just found a way to get separation? Or was this a Kellen Moore setting it up type of thing? I'm going to watch the film on offense like tomorrow or something like that.
You ain't watch it yet.
Yeah, I ain't see it yet. I focus on defense today.
So is it Super Saiyan you're saying? Is it offense? Is it Kelly? I mean, they only targeting 5 times, so it wasn't like he got 11 targets like CeeDee Lamb. He just came up with all of his targets. Actually, I think it was 6. They got one of these wrong. And he came up with all of his catches. Great catch in the end zone. Great pass by Cooper Rush on the over route. The way they played the Cowboys at the beginning of this game was an advantageous situation for the wide receivers, and they took advantage of it. I don't think it was anything out of the ordinary. Now, that Moss catch, that was dope, where he went up and did the 50-50 ball. But, I mean, they went to him, and he took care of business.
I simply just wonder, Will, still, if we were to feature someone else in that way, right? Like if someone else would have gotten those 5 or 6 targets, right? What would that look like? Like, what would it look like if, Simi was...
Oh, Simi. Okay.
Or fucking CeeDee Lamb or Kevontae Turpin or just pick a guy. Or if it was Tony Pollard, right? Because Noah Brown's not explosive.
Michael Gallup.
Well, if it was Michael Gallup, we'll still, I mean, we'll be having a whole other conversation. We'd put 30 points on the goddamn board and we'd be talking about a whole different type of win. But of course, and we are excited at the idea that 13, whatever the hell number James Washington gonna be wearing, are coming back. But I just think, look, Noah Brown, we needed you, man, and you just did some veteran shit. So salute to you, brother. Salute to you. I was definitely talking my shit preseason. I was definitely ready to cut you preseason, but Noah Brown, you did your thing. You've earned your flowers. Now, this is something I will address for the people in the chat box here. Y'all not finna be all up in my chat box talking about, Voch, you gonna say sorry to Noah Brown? Nah, because Noah Brown been whack his whole life. Noah Brown got just as many yards yesterday as he damn near got his whole career, Will, still. You feel me? So I'm not finna sit up here and act like Noah Brown been amazing, but I've been sleeping on him. He had a good game with 5 people missing. Shouts out to you, Noah Brown, but you did well, sir. Does Jalen Tolbert, another week inactive, bother you a little bit? What's that?
It bothered me last week. You can't beat out Dennis. Dennis Houston's doing nothing.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah. Last one, Will, still. I just love the sound drop, by the way. You were saying earlier that, man, the assignment that Trevon Diggs has drawn week 1 and 2. Mike Evans and Jamar Chase, and look at what he's done with that. Tyler Smith has pulled the assignment of some dudes week 1 and week 2. If Tyler Smith had to go against a Taco Charlton type character, I feel better. If he would have had to see like Cleveland Farrell or something, I'd have been good with that. Like he ran into one of these miscellaneous dudes that don't really pop up in the stat sheet like that. Perfectly fine. That dude lined up against Shaq Barrett, who 2 years ago led the league in sacks. And he did fine work. Then he lined up against Trey Hendrickson. Okay. And I haven't seen the offensive film. I know Trey Hendrickson, tore some stuff up, made some pressure, but he ain't got no sacks though. Trey Hendrickson, who last year, including the playoffs, got like 18 and a half sacks, Will, still. Trey Hendrickson is a dude. And our beloved first round rookie Tyler Smith held his own. I don't think anybody else has drawn the type of assignment that we've put on Tyler Smith. Like Lael Collins probably had a harder time. He had TJ Watt and Micah Parsons back to back. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody getting ass with more than Lael Collins right now. But Tyler Smith gets those 2 dudes and he exceeds our expectations. To be clear, I still don't want to start Tyler Smith the rest of the way. I don't think Tyler Smith is doing an amazing, incredible job, but I think he's doing a good job for what we're asking of him, for those dudes, to not get preseason work, for us have wanted him at guard. He couldn't be Connor McGovern for a couple of weeks, and he was probably gonna be Connor McGovern, but hashtag he couldn't be Connor McGovern for a couple of weeks. He get them dudes. But I think Tyler Smith is a Pro Bowl guard waiting to happen. And I hope that Jason Peters is ready to play left tackle this week, Will, still. I hope.
Yeah. Tyler Smith and Jason Peters is your best 5. I think it's just that simple. Matt Forniak, at least from what I saw, especially in that first half, was not good at all. Yeah. He's given up, I think, 5 quarterback hits in the first 2 weeks, 10 pressures. He now DJ Reader that's no easy task. Like DJ Reader's tough. He was giving whoever the hell that guard was with the Steelers problems, but I think you got an issue at left guard until McGovern gets back. So best 5 to me is Peters, Smith, Biotish, Zach, Terrence. That's fine.
Now I haven't watched the offensive film yet, and it's just blown me away, Will, still that you're actually offensive line guy. So this is you claiming it now. I love it to pieces, sir. I'm gonna watch the offensive film, and I'm gonna tap in with you and give you my assessment. We'll go back and forth on it a little bit, but I just think that there's you can upgrade 2 spots. Like Jason Peters is a better left tackle than Tyler Smith, and Tyler Smith is a much better left guard than Matt Forniak right now. So why not?
I've been trying to say that on Twitter because listen, y'all, Smith has been playing well for a rookie who hasn't got snaps. But if we talk about Smith's film now and what Peters did last year, I don't think Peters is better. But that was last year, so we got to see what happens.
Yeah, we're pleasantly surprised with Smith. Smith is outplaying our expectations. He is an NFL level left tackle. Is there room to get better? 100%. I think the answer is Jason Peters. I don't know. We'll cross the road whenever we get there, man. We just need Jason Peters to get his feet up under him. I wish that happened sooner than later, but what better week to get that done than the Giants? I think Azeez Ojulari is hurt and Kayvon Thibodeau is hurt. Not that I think Kayvon Thibodeau smoking shit versus what we got going on anyway. I mean, we just seen Trey Hendrickson and Shaq Barrett, my guy. So I mean, I don't think that those guys in particular were gonna wreck the house necessarily. But if there's any game or any series of games, any 2-3 games in a row, I think this would be a fantastic time to get Jason Peters going versus the Giants and the Washington Football Wizards. Then we line up versus the Rams and hopefully get Dak Prescott back. Well, still, Stephen Jones, I shouldn't even ask you because I know how you feel, but Stephen Jones said that we're looking to get Dak back for the Rams game / Eagles game. You believe that?
Yeah, he's not on IR, bro. They wrote it. They said, no IR. That means he can come back and miss only 2 or 3 games. But I think they came out today and said he's definitely not playing against the Giants on Monday, but the next week is not ruled out. So, hey man, maybe he got that. What Wolverine got up in him?
That I was gonna say vibranium. That's something different.
It's with an A.
Adamantium.
Adamantium. Yeah.
Adamantium. That's what it is. We got.
The conference has been locked.
6 people on the phone. We're going to do this the same way we've been doing it. I think today in particular, especially since it's 4:04. Hey, come in, make your point. Love y'all to pieces. And, appreciate you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You know what I mean? So we're going to get through the phones, then we're going to get to the chat, and then we're going to go watch some film. Appreciate y'all. Let's start with Carlos. What up, Los?
Hola, Voch.
Time out, Los. Yo, Will Steele, Donovan Wilson went crazy yesterday. Did he not, sir? I forgot to say that. Yeah. My goodness, Donovan. And Los, please don't go nowhere. Donovan Wilson being a guy who was just going to be starting anyway. I don't think that Donovan necessarily was the J-Ron solution or whatever. That was more so. I saw a lot of Izzy yesterday on the field. We got to watch film on that. But Donovan really stepped up, bro. He made plays in the run game, plays in the pass game. He was physical, Will Steele. He was physical. Now, and we did have some penalty situations. We can't hit Joe Burrow while he's sliding, but I do think that energy, Will Steele, that ass whoop energy that Donovan Wilson was bringing to the table, whether he was lined up at linebacker or lined up at box safety, or his little bit of time that he did at free or whatever. My goodness, I don't think Donovan's a guy that you pay because this is his last year, I believe. But if you can get Donovan for like $38 as a piece of Will Steele, do you do it?
He was on my list where I had 3 guys that I would look to go talk to for a cheap extension. It was Donovan Wilson. This don't shock me. I thought Dono could have did what J-Ron did last year, but he's a hurt guy. That's the only issue with him. He just gets hurt. Like, if he doesn't get hurt, he can be a difference maker. He showed that in 2020. But hurt guys going to be hurt guys. And that is what it is. But Dono's a problem, man. He's physical. He's fast. I think he diagnoses very well. He can blitz, and I think he can cover. Now, can he man up as good as J-Ron's tight ends? Maybe not, but I think he plays better in zone.
My goodness, man. Can we just call Donovan Wilson in and just put a whole bunch of money in a Ziploc bag and just put it on the table and just be like, hey man, sign back, man. Just a one. Let's do a friendly 2-year deal. One of them ones will still one of them friendly Cowboy 2-year deals, man. Kind of like one of the ones Darnson signed or whatnot. You know what I mean? We'll sign you up. It ain't big money. It's big for you. One of them AB deals, one of them Jordan Lewis deals or whatever. You know what I mean? Let's just get him back on one of them. And the fact that he can play all the safety spots in Dan Quinn's defense, man. Like that dude. Let's go Donovan.
I got a feeling they're not though, because they drafted signed Marquise Bell. They're high on, and plus Izzy is still there. So the time to do it was before the draft after last season, where he was hurt, numbers are down, you can get him for cheap, and they didn't do it. Brought in Bell. I think his writing's on the wall.
Did J-Ron Kerr sign a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal?
2-year deal.
2-year deal, and they could probably get out of that in 1 year. I'm assuming
if they want to, but why would you? It's cheap. 2 years, $8 million. Ain't gonna hurt you.
They do a lot of goofy shit over there, Will. Still, fair enough. Carlos, I apologize, my guy. I just had to show some love to Donovan Wills before moving on to the phone. What you got for us today, sir?
What's up, Voch? What up, Sky?
Cool,
I just want to shout out the lunatic, and like he always says, "Who don't beat shit Cowboys?" Way, I mean, God, dang, did you see that performance, Voch?
I'm excited too.
Micah out there,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, hey, I didn't expect this from Cooper. I'll be honest. So I'll give him his flowers for the execution and great plays at the crucial moments. Because, some of them were dimes. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
But you got to give Kellen Moore his flowers for putting Pollard and his wide receivers in better situations. Finally.
Yeah.
And let me say this,
so
I can be clear on my side of the coin.
Sure.
He is not better than Dak Prescott.
Okay.
Let's just hope nothing changes offensively.
Sure.
And to close, Micah is a man. There's no words to describe him. He's he's that athletic nature freak. Coming out of college, I knew he was going to be, using his quickness and explosive, but I didn't expect this from him.
Yeah.
He's on pace for 35 plus sacks, including playoffs. And did you see that triple take? Or that triple team, and he almost pushed them all back, and he split them all.
Man.
That's a bad, MFer. So you have to take him to so having him on our team makes a whole difference, Voch and Sky. And damn it, Slater, we could have taken Slater, but damn, I'm so glad we took Micah.
I agree.
And I want to hear your thoughts on that, Voch.
Man, Los, I've never liked Rashawn Slater in the first place. You know what I mean? I never was a fan of his. You know what I mean? I was always on board to, to draft Micah Parsons. Man, I didn't think that it was. I thought he was the best player on the board.
Stop the cap.
I didn't want past Surtain or none of them guys, man.
What?
I was just.
What?
All right, so we got let's see, Damon Kennedy on the phone. Let's see what he talking about, man. Let's see what Damon talking about. What up, DC? What you got for the show?
What's good, boys?
Cool, my guy.
Man, Lyle Collins ain't got his ass whooped like that since he locked his mama's keys in the car back in the day.
God dang. That's trauma, sir. That's some old trauma that came back up, dog. That's way
Remember how your mama always used to say, don't lock my keys in the car?
That's way too creative, dog. You got your ass whooped for that before, but I feel you. Go ahead, my guy. What you got for the show?
Hey, man, just a quick point. What I wanted to say was I like the fact that when we're using Micah on the edges now, man, I think you can definitely see a difference in the run fits with us having Anthony Barr and Leighton Vander Esch in the middle, man. I think our run fits got way better, and the boy Bohanna was doing his thing in the middle, man. So I just wanted to say I thought the run fits were a lot better this week, and I think you can definitely see the difference when you got Anthony Barr and Leighton Vander Esch on the field consistently to be able to stop the run and letting Micah do what he does.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think a lot of the good linebacker play came from your good interior D-line play. We're going to watch film on that on patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. Y'all be sure to tune into that tonight. But yeah, man, 100%. You ain't saying nothing wrong. And Van Der Esch has always been that guy. He's always been a guy that's a product of his D-line. If you allow him to run as free as possible, not saying he'll be perfect, not saying he'll be Micah, but if you allow him to run as free as possible, you'll yield the best results out of that.
100%. And then I did have one more quick point.
Quickly.
Now, let's just say if Smith is still looking good and they want to keep him at tackle and Peters is ready, he did play tight end in college. What are the chances that maybe we get Peters in there for some rundowns and we use an over? They perhaps use him as an eligible receiver to be able to put him in motion.
The key is to use Fournier as that receiver, put Tyler at guard, and just let Jason play tackle, sir. Let's not get
Fair
cute.
enough, man. That's all I got.
Let's not get cute. We already cussed Kellen Moore out for trying to get cute. Go ahead, Will. Still.
No, I was trying to hear that out.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't, bro. And look, man, Fournier is a cool third left guard. He played like a third left guard, Will Steele. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man.
Let me just warn you. That first about 2 quarters, bro. Just go ahead.
It was bad.
Just go ahead, fast forward that thing.
It was bad, dog. God damn, dog. I can't fast forward it, man, because I need it. You know what I mean, to make a proper assessment for the people. But you saying it's bad for Fournier?
Bro, even on the touchdown drives.
Oh man, I just saw the defense. I'll be watching the offense tomorrow, but hey, I trust Will Steele.
Let me be fair to him. I thought he did better on. I guess you would consider that the combo blocks. Combo actually is getting to the second level. He was on the double teams. Okay. He was better on the double teams. Let's say that.
Okay. Goddamn, Carl Lewis. I have not forgot about y'all super chats. I'm gonna read them. I'm just gonna get through these phones. So don't think I'm just ignoring y'all. Appreciate y'all for your contribution. I'm gonna get to you. DP, what up?
What's going on, Voch? How you feeling today?
What's good, my guy? Everything. What you got for the show?
All right. I think I had a couple of points here. You know, I kind of watch this thing a little bit differently.
Okay.
First thing is, I know y'all love your Dalvin Wilson. I've been a J-Ron Curse fan for like 5 or 6 years since he's been in Zimmer's defense. J-Ron Curse is extremely intelligent. This man runs the defense. I hope people still remember that.
Okay.
That man is the only green dot, basically running and calling defensive calls. So I like Donovan. I like how he likes to fly around like a loose missile, like a old school Bob Sanders.
Okay.
But I don't know if he still has the man-to-man and the IQ yet. That's where I'm gonna pull back for Donovan Wilson. I don't know if he has the IQ yet to do all of the mental things that J-Ron brings to you. Just being real with that. Micah, I ain't got nothing.
Will Steele, you want to get him or you want me to say it?
Nah, go ahead.
I don't think we're directly comparing Donovan Wilson to J-Ron Curse. I just think we just gave.
No, I'm not comparing.
You are.
I'm just saying.
You are. You just did.
I would love to keep J-Ron around for a long period of time. I think he works.
You just compared.
You
just compared Donovan Wilson to J-Ron Curse. You said that Donovan Wilson doesn't have the intelligence of J-Ron Curse. You just said that, but we weren't comparing the two. We just said Donovan played well. He played fantastic.
I know. Listen, I'm really. I said.
Why your voice get high?
About with Donovan versus J-Ron. I said, well, I like Donovan for a couple of things. The special teams, I think he's a damn beast. I think he's a misunderstood beast.
Sure.
I think honestly,
special teams beast. What?
I still think Donovan played well, but for the run game, I will tell you this much, and you will see this on your breakdown. I think Kellen Moore for some reason has a limited play calling for the run game.
I thought we was talking about defense.
He played 2 snaps on special teams.
That kick, the first pitch that
played 24 last year.
He ran down. Oh, he just hit on the goalpost. He ran the first time. Great. Second time, you went to the well. Literally, the commentators said, "Man, you went to the well. Little too often."
So
I think they understand it too many times. So I'm like,
So DP, let me ask you. So quickly, DP, let me ask. So you said Donovan on the teams units, right? What teams units in particular was Donovan really good on yesterday?
No, generally Donovan is a hell of a special teamer.
Like this year, or like last year.
Last year. I like him last year.
Oh, sir, don't.
Okay.
Why you do that to him? Last year, he had 0 tackles on special teams.
Oh, shit.
No, I just when I actually saw him, I saw him blowing up a lot of blocks.
Put my glasses on.
That's why I thought the man actually, he
played 24 snaps on special teams last year. But anyway, I don't want to.
Yeah. We're not, we're not directly making comparisons. I think we need both of them though, and how Dan Quinn typically uses them. He used both of them. You know, if J-Ron's going to be the big nickel guy, he does some linebacker things sometimes. J-Ron Curse will be right behind him doing box safety things. Actually, if you take a look at the sheet last week, Donovan Wilson played more snaps than J-Ron Curse. So, but they both played like more than 40 snaps or whatnot. So they're both used. They're both used.
I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying I still would like to keep J-Ron, and I like to keep both.
Okay.
I like to keep both. I like the things that Donovan brings, but I love the intelligence. Okay. I love the honestly the maestro of the defense in the back end. So I've still not yet seen the Cowboys bringing a middle linebacker that can run the defense. You understand what I mean? for that middle linebacker that can run the defense.
I'll take Micah, man. But DP, good call, man.
Do you think I think Michael, you let Michael loose on the edge, man. You don't let Michael call plays. Michael, you let him loose on the edge. You see what he does.
I appreciate you, brother. Will Steele, do you think that's like a fan ego thing that, hey, I want my Mike linebacker to be able to call plays? If you can get a linebacker like Micah Parsons, I'll let the fucking nickel corner call plays, goddamn it. I don't care who calls. I don't care. Fucking Bohanna can call the plays. We got Micah at Mike. You feel me? So does it matter to you that that you would like a Mike linebacker to call plays, sir? Does it matter to you?
If Micah is playing Mike, that is how it usually goes. I remember when this whole J-Ron Curse thing came up of being a green dot, I specifically asked Barry Church. I'm like, yo, how normal is this that a safety? He said, this ain't normal at all. No team I've ever been on is the safety calling it. So, that is a very, cool thing that J-Ron does that I think helps the defense. But in general, it's going to be your linebacker, LVE at this point, or Micah if he's going to be in the middle. But they were working. You were out there. We saw it. LVE had the green dot whenever J-Ron Curse wasn't practicing. So, it's traditionally going to be your backer. So I think that's what it'll be if J-Ron Curse is not here. I don't see it being – I agree with him. I don't think it's going to be Dono, but Donovan Wilson wasn't green dot in 2020. He was one of your most dominant defensive players.
Yeah, fair enough. Let me just kind of restate. Let's kind of get in, make your point. If you got a second one, make it a quick second. Let's get in and let's get out. Love y'all to pieces. Let's get Reek on the phone. See what he's talking about. What up, Reek?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Coolin', my guy.
Good win yesterday. Good team win yesterday. My thing is I bet you Leighton Vander Esch want Donovan Wilson out there. He be missing a lot of tackles in the middle, and Donovan coming in and cleaning it up. So let's not get on Donovan Wilson. And to the caller, the last caller, no disrespect to him. That's why you got Izzy out there. Izzy is that dude that if they throw the ball in the wrong area, he's gonna pick it off.
Right.
Donovan Wilson is the enforcer back there, and that you can't take the enforcer away from Hooker because Hooker laid the wood too yesterday. Pause on the wood part, but he made a good hit yesterday. My only thing is with the defense is Leighton Vander Esch. That's my biggest thing. He played decent yesterday. He played okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Other than that, Kellen Moore just got to keep. He can't afford to take his foot off the throttle when we already got the team on the ropes. Go ahead and deliver the knockout blow. You know what I mean? Because you got the defense to do it.
Yeah.
I don't care if we field goal them out the rest of the game, they would have had no way of coming back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the last point I'm gonna make: if Schultz is out and these other young tight ends come in and do their thing, they do in trouble. Because I think Ferguson and that other guy can do some damage.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say, though.
That's all I got to say.
All right. Peace, y'all.
I appreciate you, Rick.
Peace, bro.
Well, I love when they just like, yo, Voch, I love you, but fuck your rules, dog. I'm going to get my points. I'm going to get my points. Oh, man, that's rough. I mean, I'm not necessarily clock gaming anybody, but damn, dog, you don't go in my refrigerator and drink my last Snapple like that, bro? Come on, man. It's all good. We got 2 more calls. We're going to get to y'all. Then we're going to get to the super chats, then we're going to get to the phones. Then me and Will going to clock out and do some more work for y'all because we're putting in work this weekend or this whole week because that's what happens on Cowboy W's. I don't plan on rest until after draft season. It is what it is. South Philly Shell, what's happening?
What up with you, Voch?
Coolin', Micah.
I called you last night. They said I was the 23rd boy on the queue. I was like, I'll catch you tomorrow.
Hey, fam, it was just one of them ones.
It was popular last night, so I sat there and watched it.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean, the point I'm trying to make today, you know what I'm saying? When I watched the game last night, I looked at Cooper. He looked like a quarterback that played in the preseason. Sure. Like the difference between Dak in week 1 and him last night is the preseason. You get that rust off you, get to come in sharp, everything. So all these people keep talking all this crazy stuff. Cooper needs to get the spot over Dak. Y'all stupid because where Dak gonna go when he get back is just up. And once that offense start clicking with the defense how we rocking right now, oh, we gonna do some nasty shit this year.
I figured South Philly shit. That's all you got for us?
That's all I got for you, bro.
Good call, man.
Y'all be safe.
I love that call. He said, man, I called last night, Voch. They said the queue. They said I was number 25 in the queue. I say, shit. I talk to you tomorrow. You give me one call, bro. That's fire. I love that.
That's great. That's real. That's like me. I don't like lines, fam. I call your show and they say 25. I'm out.
Yeah. He said, shit. All right, and we have this caller that we don't know. Let's see if we can make them platinum or they can make themselves platinum. 302, what's up? Who this?
Yeah, this is YD calling from Delaware, man. I just want to say, man, y'all brothers is doing a good job about you and Will Steele and everything with this Dallas content. My point is, man, with this defense, they good and all. We good and all. It's just like it's only this soft spot, and I see it. And it's LVE, man. LVE, he really got to step his game up, man. But I think by the time the end of the season, you know, we're gonna get probably somebody in there like Jabril Cox or Barr in there, probably starting or whatever. Because it was a couple of times I've seen the safety come up and have to bail LVE out tremendously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then my other quick point is Turpin. I'm saying if Kellen Moore see him out there fair catching punts and kickoffs all day, man, he got to get him on the field some more on that offense. I agree with that 100%, man.
Sure.
But that's all I got, man. Y'all brothers doing a good job, and I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, bro. What's your name again? You say
YD.
YD?
Yeah, YD.
YD. I'm gonna put you in platinum. Next time you call in, we'll know it's you. Why? Shit, I said WD. Damn. Hold on. No, shit. Hold on. Shit. Okay. Hold on. YD. All right, got you, YD. Next time you call in, we'll know it's you, brother. Salute.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, Jabril Cox was inactive yesterday, and Anthony Barr started. Anthony Barr played, and I feel like that, like after a while, I kept looking for Anthony Barr and I couldn't find him. I feel like he was disappearing on me a little bit. So I would love to see how much he actually played. But then some. But as soon as I would say, "Hey, where's Anthony Barr at?" He'll go and make a play somewhere. So I would have to watch the film to really see what his usage was like. Just see if they use him as a pass rusher. I saw him in a lot of end game stuff. I did see that. But I'm gonna really grind that film down to see what his actual usage was like. We'll cross that road later on when we have our film sessions. Let's get into these supers. As I look on the Voch side, okay. Today, the 19th. So we got plenty supers. My bad. I would like to apologize for my behavior last week. I should have known better than to doubt this defense. We're going 16-1. Come on, Nova Legion. Appreciate you, doubt. Chris C dropped the deuce and says Micah created a whole culture on defense. He's definitely put what's the word? He definitely put some, not validation, but some authenticity in his leadership. I will say that. Shouts out to Micah Parsons. Appreciate you, Chris C. Kenneth Lott dropped a deuce, then a dub. He say we will stay a running offense. And he says when Dak comes back, will we go back to being a passing offense? I think you have to pass the ball because you'll have better receivers when he comes back. But I still think you should probably, lead with your run because I think that's where your offensive line is better at. They're better moving people. And then when Jason Peters is at left tackle and Tyler's at left guard, if they do the right thing, I definitely think we can.
You do not change being balanced. You don't.
Sure.
You're not that type of team no more, man.
Sure. 100%, Mr. Wolf. Yeah, man, we're not going to be like last year's Cowboys. That ain't never going to be the case. It's going to be a healthy serve them both. But I do think that the type of passes that you throw will be different. Like, of course, you're going to trust Dak to make some throws that you don't trust Cooper Rush to make. But I do think you will get a healthy dose of Tony and Zeke. That's my opinion. Well, Zeke and Tony in that order, because that's, you're not going to. Black Yoda dropped 5. It says Kellen should join Dan Quinn in the booth. It may open his eyes up to what's going on during the game. That's a preference thing. Appreciate you. Sajid dropped a deuce and says Commanders got Ridgeway. Welp. Hey man, we was looking for Ridgeway. Go ahead. What's up?
I wouldn't gloss over that, man.
Yeah.
Not after watching. I don't want to get too in depth with the X's and O's, but I feel like if he was in the booth and he saw how they adapted to the man coverage that they were playing for whatever reason, I guess the Bengals got stubborn. Maybe things could have been a little bit different. Maybe he could have gotten Cooper Rush's ear and said, hey, this is here. Stay on it because it's here. Because once we got after that second drive, things got real weird from a passing standpoint because just flat out they didn't see it.
What I was saying about preference is that, you know, some coaches like to be with their guys, you know what I'm saying? And so I ain't saying what I think should be true, because when I was, when I was a young coach, I was in the booth with my big homie coach, and I love being able to see the field also. But some guys like being down there amongst their guys. So what'll happen is, you'll have somebody that's your eyes in the booth or whatever, and they'll be like, hey, we got XYZ or whatever. Then Kellen will go to his play sheet where XYZ is at, then he'll make that play call. But I do think there's an advantage of seeing the field from top to bottom. It just depends on the coach, but that could be advantageous to him. And Kellen being a young coach, he probably don't even know what's good for him yet, so maybe he should try it. So I feel on that wheel still. And Avery Wash dropped a 5 and says, I saw the game film. The run plays were called going into the next game. We just need to finish a little better on those first level blocks. We'll figure it out. I'll definitely watch the film and let you know.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that. I said something on Twitter, but I want to get you what you see O-line wise from the second level. I thought those first 2 series were the best series of the game, but they could have been a little bit better at the second level, and that kind of carried out throughout the rest of the game. So let me know what you think about that.
100%. As soon as I watch, I'll definitely let y'all know. Well, I'm gonna hit you first, and then we're gonna come on stream, and then I'll let you know. And we got super chats on the volume side. Volume. I'm just so blown away by the amount of y'all just migrating over to the volume side. I appreciate y'all, and the fact that I think we got 1,000 people watching live. Last I looked, yeah, we still at about 1,100.
Yeah,
hey, appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. September 19th. Peebo from Dallas said, there you go. Appreciate you, sir. Boy, Colin Cowherd refused to say anything complimentary about our boys today. It was delicious. Appreciate you, Guillotine. We might do a video by Colin Cowherd coming up soon. I don't know. Shaq Edwards dropped the deuce super chat, says Kellen trying hard to win the head coaching job. I don't think he's in conversation for that. What's the matter? Dropped the 5 and says Colin said this week there was something he wasn't getting in Dallas. There was something Collins said this week there was something he wasn't getting in Dallas. Now we find out it was reps against Micah Parsons. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, practicing versus Micah Parsons definitely makes you better. Terrence Steele didn't have a bad game neither, Will Steele. So, I mean, he was on the other side dealing with what's his face there. So
2 games in a row, Terrence Steele has looked like a serviceable right tackle.
Yeah, looks good to me. Much better than Leao. Will, are you do you think Cowboy Nation should apologize to the front office with the whole Leao thing? There are some things that we still have our problems with, like letting go of Cooper and not bringing in a receiver that's adequate. But the whole choosing Terrence Steele over Leao thing, don't you think that's the thing that
shouldn't to me? It never was a thing. Because you saw a guy in-house in Terrence Steele that played right tackle fine. Now, if you want to say we should have kept Leao and put him at guard, I'll have that conversation with you. But Leao moving on from him from right tackle, I really didn't care, especially since he was hardly available the last few years. I get that. So I didn't have an issue with that. Amari Cooper is the only thing that bugged me was that situation.
Yeah. Plus, man, when your hips bad, you can't play right tackle or left guard. So I ain't trying to hear that. And Derek Smalls dropped the deuce in the super chat and says, and just that fast, Washington signs Ridgeway. Yes, sir. We got it. And then Landlord dropped the last minute deuce in and says, what's happening, Cowboy? What's happening, Cowboy Nation? Got that W. Landlord from Alabama. Appreciate you, brother. And that's what we got there. Now it's time for the chat box. Let's hear what y'all got to say. For whatever reason, you couldn't call into the show. You talked up your anytime minutes, anytime. You dropped your phone in the toilet. You at work or you at school. You couldn't call into the show. Now is your time to interact with the show. So interact. What's up, y'all? What y'all got for us? And after the show, I'm going to go to Bath and Body Works and buy some candles because they're on sale. That's what we're doing. And also, I'm going to be on... shouts out to my guy John G, Cowboys DMV fanatic. I'm gonna be on his show tonight. Tap in with that. It's like 7 Central or something. And then on my Patreon tonight, I'm gonna be watching film on the D line. Tomorrow I'm gonna be watching the O line on Patreon. So if y'all like to tune in with me as I watch the film, tune in. James Gary says Rush Hour. I live in the outskirts, so it ain't really traffic like that for me.
I think he's talking about Cooper Rush.
Oh, Cooper Rush. Oh, Cooper. Nah. I went by there today, smelled good because they got them 1 weeks on sale, dog. Kellen only called the second half. Will said, what do you think about this Illuminati theory that Mike McCarthy took over play calling this week?
No, what I do think happened though is Mike came out and said, "Hey, dog, we gotta look at that play sheet a little bit harder." And you know, those first 2 series was heavy run, and they got Cooper Rush involved with. I mean, it went in the first series. You'll see it. Obviously, you watch the game, but you'll really see. Oh, screen, tunnel screen, play action, run, jet sweep, run, play action, touchdown. It's to get him in rhythm. That's to me looked like a Mike McCarthy. You know, came to Kellen and was like, "Hey, dog, listen, double, triple, double dog rear reverses and wildcats in the first possession. We ain't having it." So
yeah. Not gonna be able to do it. Marcus Hardison says that he already dropped the science or dropped his quote today. It was in the PayPal. So we read that already. We didn't read it with the fancy music, but we did read it. So appreciate you, Mark. Let's take this. Voch had a washed moment on Rush Hour comment. I didn't know. I was like, the movie? I was like, Rush Hour outside is about to be 5 o'clock. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you can have so much fun with the Rush name. I've been doing the wrestling. What a Rush. I was going to actually have my microphone because, you know, it got them on there, the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
A lot of fun things you can do with his last name.
I refuse to have fun with Kellen Moore. And chat, hey, let's do like 2 more questions because me and Will got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do for y'all, actually.
I got the defensive film loaded up as we speak. Like, I'm just sitting here.
Well, actually, since you're doing that, let me drop the link to the film session that we dropped during the show. It is what happened? It's Jamar Chase versus Trey Diggs. Let me tell y'all what I wanted to do with this film session in particular. You know that there's a lot of noise on social media, and sometimes it's hard to you know, get the facts when it comes to these social media things sometimes. So what I wanted to do with certain matchups, with certain looks versus certain games, whatever, we're gonna play against certain teams, and you know what I mean, you know, we're gonna cut down on a lot of the ambiguity, you know. So I saw somebody was like, man, Jamar Chase ain't get locked down like that. Like, okay, cool. So I go through the film and I find the 16 plays that Trey Diggs was covering Jamar Chase. Now Trey was lined up versus Jamar Chase a lot, but sometimes it'll be a run play. Well, still, did you actually watch defense yet? Have you watched it yet?
A little bit. Only like 12, 13 minutes in.
Do you think there's something to, and I said this on the film session, do you think there's something to Trey Diggs staying on his side and not following Jamar Chase sometimes, but then when Jamar Chase lines up in the slot, Diggs follows him in the slot sometimes?
He did that with Mike Evans last year. You know, he's not a slot guy, but if there's a star matchup, Diggs will travel a little bit, not a lot, but I wouldn't make a habit of it, right? Like I wouldn't want him lined up in there primarily or anything like that against the Kadarius Tonys of the world.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that sometimes he moved, sometimes he didn't. Sometimes he followed him, sometimes he didn't. I don't know. It was interesting. But hey, we are dropping the film, so there y'all go. Appreciate y'all. Follow the volume on all social media platforms. The volume sports. Follow Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. I follow my non-football platform, twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. That is on the way. We got some good stuff coming there, and we're doing the Patreon tonight. When I come back from Bath and Body Works to buy my candles, we'll be watching the D line tonight. Tomorrow we'll be watching the O line. So be sure to tap in patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. Will Steele, what you got for us, sir?
Hit me up on Twitter @Skywalker Steele, and as you see behind me every morning, A to Z Sports Dallas. We talk Cowboys by 8:30 in the morning.
Shouts out to Rome in the chat box, man. Rome from Cowboys Fan Talk. Last night we did a raid on A to Z Dallas, but Mo was live. And so we did the raid on Mo. That was cool. You know what I'm saying? Mo had a big smile on his face. But I was like, how do I say raid in Spanish, right? And I looked it up, and it was like, da-da-da. And I didn't just say la da-da-da like a typical person speaking. I had to say that shit like I was a Nigerian speaker. So I like da-da-da. You know what I mean? So Rome was in the chat. Rome was in the chat box making fun of me at how I said whatever. But that's that story. So if y'all see somebody saying Redata, that's where they come from. All right. With that being said, Strawberry Pancake Count, appreciate Drummer Cam. Y'all hold down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Whiskey. Till next time, volume.
Beats Planet.